We should be good, I'm hoping. Let me see. There's gotta be another thing I need to check here. Noise suppression, we're gonna turn that off. No noise suppression, we're gonna be going full ASMR with the cooking here. Alright. We good? We good? We back? We back? Hello? Okay, good. Good. I don't know what happened there. I thought I turned everything in the correct order, and then suddenly it just doesn't want to work. But anyway, hey Nuggets, welcome to the food truck. My name's Ruka, and it has been a while since we since we actually did any actual cooking. I don't know when the last time. When was the last time I pulled out the burner? I feel like it's been a while. I feel like it's been a while. So actually, I was kind of waiting on a new camera that I recently got in, but the battery wouldn't charge. So we're back to our rinky-dink non-autofocus camera, our very manual camera that does a very good job, by the way. It's a very good manual focus camera. It's just, it would be nice to autofocus, and it would be nice to actually have a better camera for when I'm actually out and about. So anyway, today we're gonna do something simple. I really shouldn't be cooking on a Friday night because I still have work tomorrow. But I saw this recipe on YouTube, and I kind of want to do it also on stream. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. And if you ever heard of the pasta, what was it? Spaghetti alla assassina or something like that. Assassin's pasta, killer pasta. Basically, it's a pasta that's really only kind of made in like a once teeny tiny region in Italy, and I never had this before, and but initially it just kind of looks like a failed dish, but apparently it's actually supposed to be really good. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. But I'm gonna go ahead. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and get this pan heated because we need this hot. Basically, the point of today is we're not going to be using any water, no boiling. Vincenzo's. What is Vincenzo's? I have no idea what that means. But anyway, our ingredients today are going to be very simple. Very simple. We're going to have some spaghetti, just some regular spaghetti. I have thin spaghetti, so this is what we'll be using. We'll also be using some olive oil for the frying bit because we have to like fry some garlic. By the way, where's my garlic? We got some garlic here. Normally I would like use a whole head of garlic, but half a head of garlic for the portion we're using today. It should be plenty. Heard of the recipe from that guy on YouTube? He does Italian cooking. I'm not sure which one no, it wasn't. If you're talking about Vincenzo's or Zos, I don't think I've heard that guy before. But it was like a different channel. It was a woman who was doing a video. I'll link it in the description after we're done with the stream. But yeah, never made assassina myself. I heard some people made assassina by accident. Some people have made assassina by accident because the way you're supposed to do it isn't the way you usually do pasta. And I'll show it to you, and it looks super wrong. It looks super wrong when you first make it, but apparently it's supposed to be good because of how it caramelizes and stuff like that. But it's just really just regular pasta ingredients. I'll be using jar sauce for this one because I don't have fresh tomatoes to make sauce myself, and this is supposed to be just a really quick stream anyway, so jar sauce works well. We have a little bit of salt and pepper to season, and also I don't you can I think you're supposed to use ground beef or ground pork. Probably ground beef is better for, I mean, like if you're doing like bolognese style pasta, but I don't have either. because I just don't have any right now. So we're gonna be using fake crab, sudami. We're gonna be using some sudami for the meat portion of this thing. So yeah, we're gonna be cooking. Anyway, this thing is like heating up right now. So the only thing I really need, the only prep I actually have to do is this. All I'm gonna be doing is crushing this, and we'll be frying the garlic here really quick. But yeah, anyway, there's really not much prep I can do. There's really not much prep that I can do. Oh crap, why is this stuck? Hold on. Very American. I have been Americanized. I don't know what to tell you guys. As an Asian, being Americanized sounds like the worst idea ever, but it's actually not that bad. Come on, it's not that bad. So people make it sound like it's a very bad thing, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I mean, Mizuhara, I guess Kaz Mizuhara from Metal Gear apparently was Americanized because of the hamburgers and whatnot. So, and he's fine. I think he turned out fine. And anyway, I've never played any Metal Gear. I just know the hamburger meme from Metal Gear, and that's it. That's all I know. And I think what was it? They went through like 5 different iterations of hamburgers before deciding on a very chemical burger. A very chemical like burger to settle on. I think they did lamb, they did other meats, some other meats, something like that. Do not snap the spaghetti. I'm tempted to snap the spaghetti, but this recipe does not call for snapping the spaghetti. I'll just tell you right now. But I'm very tempted to. I do have an Italian friend in one of my Discords that I hang out in, and I don't know if they're legit angry. I don't know if they're legit angry or just playing along with a meme, but it prompted them to actually make a video, a video on why not to snap pasta. And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's gonna get cooked either way. Also, what if you have a really small pot, like for camping? Are you telling me Rin from Eurocamp is a heathen for snapping pasta for soup pasta? Because she does that. She actually does that. And I didn't think of it. I've never thought of it as wrong whenever she did that. So, are you telling me some anime girl making soup pasta and snapping pasta in half is wrong? I don't know. Also, by the way, some grocery stores, some grocery stores do sell pasta already cut in half. So you don't have to snap it. It's already short. So there's also that. She's cute, she gets a pass. I guess if you're cute enough, you get a pass. Wait, are you saying I don't get a pass because I'm not cute? Well, then again, I guess you guys are guys, so I guess you wouldn't consider me cute. At the very least, I guess I'm a bro, right? Bros don't get a pass. No, bros should get a pass. There should be a bro pass for doing quote-unquote food crimes. Because once I start cooking on this channel again regularly, I'll be doing more quote-unquote food crimes that shouldn't work but does. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. That was originally the intention. Whenever I started the cooking series, I like cooking stuff that I've never tried before. Also doing some particularly questionable food crimes that actually work. Just saying it's a thing. Now here's the thing. I don't know if I should be chopping these garlic into tiny little pieces or just keeping them whole. I think either way works well, but I'm just gonna I'm not gonna chop them and I'm not gonna mince them. We're just gonna slice them because I kind of like having the bigger chunks of garlic to munch on. Like if you've ever had a baked garlic bloom or something like that, those are pretty good also. I know people do that for onions all the time, but we're gonna try garlic. Okay, so I think this is heated up already. I'm gonna put some oil here, but I'm gonna also see if I can dodge the camera. Let me try. I'm not sure about this camera angle, so if this looks like a lot of oil, we haven't put enough oil yet. We have not put enough oil yet. I need this, oh, there we go, it's covered. The entire bottom pan is covered, and that's really what I wanted. Okay, so this is my limit. This is my limit. Hello, you can see my reflection there. But we're also gonna toss the garlic in. There we go. Very, maybe not low heat, but lowish heat. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make sure we brown this thing first before we put in our next ingredient. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna try to shut up. You can listen to the garlic oil. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna get the next thing ready. That's smelling good. That's smelling really good. I'm gonna record some moments here for the food ASMR. Nah, that's a lot of garlic? Nah, that's not a lot of garlic. No. Did you use olive? Yes, I used olive. I know olive oil has very low smoking temp, but it's all I got. So what do you want me to do? Well, no, that's a lie. I don't only have olive oil. I have olive oil. I have canola. We don't want canola for this one. I also have sesame oil. You don't really fry with sesame oil. That's more like a finishing oil than anything. So you really don't want to do that. But yeah, okay. The garlic though, it's looking nice. It's browning pretty well. Hopefully it doesn't get too burnt. We don't want it burnt. Though I think some little pieces burned already. Anyway, so this is the part that's gonna look very, very wrong. And the thing I questioned the most when I first saw this. But here we go. There we go. We are just putting dry pasta right into the oil. This is supposedly how you're supposed to do it. One side of the pan is a bit hotter. I think I just need to move the pan a little bit. That's all I can really do. But this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put the pasta right into the burning hot oil. And maybe I'll lower the temperature just a teeny bit so it doesn't burn too quickly. Your pan is too small? I'd snap it in half, to be honest. I would too, but it's already soaking in oil, so I don't think I'm gonna do that. This is fine though. This is fine. This is fine. Honestly, this is I do have a bigger pan, but it's like a wok, so I don't know. It's also like a little too late to take that out. So I don't think the wok would work as well here. But this is how you're supposed to cook it. You're not supposed to boil the pasta. You're supposed to just put it directly into the oil, and that's how you cook it. Let it get a little bit more cooked than that. And then once it softens it up a little bit, then we can put the next thing in here. This is such a weird cooking method. I'm not entirely sure about this. You can see it's kind of fried here at the ends already, which I don't know if it's supposed to be that brown. I feel like it's not supposed to be that brown. But this is a good starting point. Okay, so it's already cooked down. I think this is what you're supposed to do next, but I'm not entirely sure. So normally you would make your own pasta sauce, I guess, your own secret family recipe pasta sauce inside, set it aside, but we're instead not gonna do that because I don't have fresh tomatoes. So Many food crimes have been committed right now. This is very oily. Maybe I put too much oil, to be honest. Honestly, I feel like I put way too much oil. And maybe not quite enough sauce. But I don't know how much sauce you're supposed to put in here. I just kind of looked at the video and saw that this is kind of how they do it. You're supposed to like get the oil, fry some garlic in it, put the pasta in, and then you put this sauce in, and from here you just kind of let it thicken a lot. Is it hard to find pasta in America? No, not at all. Not at all. Like, pasta is in pretty much every single grocery store. You can find regular spaghetti, you can find angel hair, which is like thinner ones, and then you can find thin spaghetti. Apparently there's a thin spaghetti. You can find all the little pasta shapes: macaroni, rigatoni, tortellini, ribbon pasta, that kind of thing. Like, nah, it's not difficult. I don't know if Italy has any specific other pastas that you can't get in the US, but or like in North America in general, but it's not difficult. I feel like I did put way too much oil though. I feel like I did put way too much oil. But the way they showed it, it was about this much oil. So I don't know. I don't know what to make about that. I kind of want to add a little bit more pasta in here though, just so it's gonna soak up a bit more of this. We'll see. Passata. Pure tomato concentrate sauce. Oh. You know, I don't think I've ever tried. I don't think I've ever tried to look for it, but there's like, what is it? There's tomato sauce, regular tomato sauce, and then which has some water in there for dilution. I think we also have tomato paste. If that's what you mean by passata, that's yes, there is tomato paste. So that does exist. I don't usually use tomato paste though, because I find tomato paste is a little bit too sweet. Personally, I find tomato paste to be a little too sweet. I don't like it too much. I like my tomatoes to be slightly on the acidic side, not on the sweet side. Though I'm okay with it though. I'm okay with using it if I need to like boost the tomato flavor. Looks okay. I put more sauce and mix more with water to add. I don't think you want to mix water in here. This is like 50% oil right now. 50% oil, but I will add more sauce. I feel like that's something we should do. And maybe add a little bit more pasta. We might not have enough pasta for this. I feel like we don't have enough pasta for this. But then again, pasta kind of like expands. And I'm just kind of eyeballing how much I'm going to put in here. I do have the surimi. Remember, I do have the surimi, so I'll probably add that at the end. Or near the end, because you usually don't want to overcook that anyway. And I don't know how well it would do fried, though I guess this will be a good time to try. This would be a good time to try. I don't know if I'll have enough of this for lunch tomorrow, but you can see the sauce is starting to thicken up a little bit. Like, it doesn't really evaporate. I think the oil either gets absorbed into the pasta and also gets incorporated into the sauce. But it is thickening up just a little bit. So there is some steam coming off. So maybe we're gonna get a little evaporation. The thing that we need to do at the end of here though, by the end of this is like gets really thick and crusty. The spaghetti is supposed to get really thick and crusty by the end of this, which apparently is the way to do this. But honestly, I don't know who did this. I feel like whoever discovered how to make pasta like this kind of screwed up. It's like, okay, I'm gonna make my tomato sauce. Let's put some oil. Let's fry some garlic, and someone by accident added the pasta in here, and it's like, oh crap, why did you put pasta into the oil? You're not supposed to do that. And you know what? Okay, fine. We screwed up, but we're not gonna waste any ingredients. We're not gonna waste any food. So we'll just keep going like this, and you're gonna make it work. Okay? Just don't burn it. Just do not burn it. And that's how we got this. I feel like that's how we got this, by an accident. Like a lot of things in life. I feel like cheese was made by accident. Yogurt was made by accident. Bread was made by accident. Assassina pasta was also probably made by accident. That's my theory. And I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to that theory. I've seen that in America they use tomato sauce, but they aren't really legit. They are full of random stuff. So the tomato sauce I'm used to seeing is like tomato puree mostly. So it's kind of like you do get like whole tomatoes, but because it's what is it? Because it's canned and stuff. I guess some manufacturers add a little bit of water to dilute the tomato, which is not cool, by the way. And then some manufacturers don't add anything to the tomato, but because the tomato is like super watery, it's like thinner than, if you cook the tomato sauce down first and then canned it right afterwards. That's basically I think what's happening. I don't know. I haven't seen any documentaries on how that's actually made, but that's my guess. Hello, welcome. It's looking pretty good already though. Like, it looks like actual legit pasta. It's just our cooking method is a little bit weird. We actually fried the pasta instead, and now it's... So, you remember when we first did this, it's not like it got... what do you call this? It's not like we boiled the pasta and then put the pasta into the oil to fry. I think if you do it that way, it gets overcooked, right? Because when you boil the pasta to cook it, it's already cooked, and then you put it into the oil, it gets cooked even more. I don't think you want to do that. So the way this is done, oil to slightly fry it and then boiling it in pasta sauce like we're doing right now is actually kind of makes sense. And now all you really want to do is cook this down like a lot. So I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit so we can evaporate this a bit more. And also, I'm going to try adding a little bit of surimi so that it's going to soak up a little bit of that sauce. It's also probably might soak up a little bit of oil, speed up our process here a little bit. And also because I don't have any ground beef. I have beef, I just don't have ground beef. So, we're doing what we can. Cheese? No cheese. I don't have any cheese. Also, I don't think you're supposed to add cheese to this. At least not at this step. If you want cheese, you can probably put cheese at the very end. But the recipes for this type of pasta is usually tomato only. Usually tomato only as for flavoring. Maybe some basil, maybe some ground meat, but no cheese. You can add cheese to your own recipe. I don't think there's anything stopping you from doing that. But for this one, we're not gonna do it. I'm also gonna add a little bit of salt for flavor because this is gonna be either a little bit sweet or tart. I can't taste it right now because it's boiling hot lava. I should probably salt it at the end. Probably should salt it at the end, but I want to add a little bit of flavor to this at this point. Also some pepper. Honestly, this looks legit good. Also, for some reason, if you don't have any water, but you have a lot of oil, if you have a lot of oil for some reason, you can possibly do it this way. Honestly, you might not even need the oil, to be honest. You might, if you just have like tomato sauce or something equivalent. Ooh, that's getting good. Ah, yeah, we definitely want to cook this down a little bit more. You see the caramelization that's happening down here at the bottom? That concentration, we want more of that. We want a lot more of that. Man, I'm gonna keep making pasta like this now. The only downside to this is that you use a lot of oil. And because of that, this is gonna be a very high calorie pasta. It's not a keto friendly pasta, I can tell you that much. Despite the amount of oil, it's not a keto friendly pasta because you're eating pasta. How is that gonna be keto friendly? It's not. You wish it was. Unless you can find some keto friendly noodles. Spaghetti. I doubt it. So this is going to be very indulgent, very concentrated. We are evaporating like crazy. Holy crap. Super evaporating like crazy. But we're not done. We want this to get super crusty. Super, super crusty. As you can see by our runtime, I think it's barely been 30 minutes, so if you really just want to make like a huge batch of this, you can. You can make a huge batch of this pasta, and then prep it for lunch the next day, or you know, or whenever. It looks like it's gonna be super good. I wish I had some basil though. I wish I had some basil to add to this because I think it would help quite a bit. I'm still not sure if I used too much oil or not enough oil. No, I'm pretty sure I used too much oil. But we need to keep going. We need to keep going until this gets super crusty. It's like, it's gonna look super dry by the end of this, but that's kind of what you want. Not too dry and just moist enough, but not too much liquid here on the side. But it's looking good. It's looking good. I think you have to leave it at that point to caramelize. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna add a little bit of pepper. Oh, I'm running out of pepper. I'm running out of pepper. Alright. Enjoy the ASMR. I want to stop talking so you can listen to the ASMR, but I'm streaming. I'm streaming. By the way, for you guys out there, does this look heretical? Did the cooking method look heretical, or did it actually look legit by the time we get to this point? Because honestly, it looked weird. I'm not gonna lie, it looked weird at first, but once you get to this point, it's like, oh my gosh, it actually looks good, right? It looks good, and it smells really good too. I can smell the tomato sauce. I can smell not really the garlic. I wish I used more garlic, but it smells pretty good, and looks pretty good. So, I think that's a good start. I need a camera. I need to take a picture of this. I need to take a picture of this craziness. Let's see. And I need a B-roll film. Ooh. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I am gonna post that later. But I don't know. I wish my Italian friend was in the chat though. That way he can tell me whether or not I actually did this right. If he accepts that this is a legit way to do pasta. Because if he doesn't think this is a legit way to do pasta, then I don't know. Is he actually Italian? Is he cultured enough to appreciate this kind of this dish? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, What are your favorite pastas out there, by the way? I mean, for the most part, I'm not really a huge pasta guy. I'll be honest. I'm not a huge pasta guy. Like, I think at most I might get some pasta if I ran out of udon or soba, something like that, and make like a curry pasta. It sounds weird, but it's kind of what I do. So, because I don't usually have tomatoes on hand, canned or jarred or otherwise. I usually use very little tomatoes in most of the stuff I do. There's only like 2 recipes I have that actually use tomatoes in any shape or form. Everything else just doesn't. But tomatoes are healthy for you, so why not? I guess I should use more tomatoes. No. But yeah. No, normally what I do is like curry pasta. Curry pasta is nice. Curry pasta adds some chunks of beef, or shrimp or fried stuff in there. That's like good, good to go. The traditional pastas like fettuccine, bolognese, and stuff like that. It's all right. I don't crave them. I don't crave for them. But for the most part, it's okay. This though, if this works out well, I'm gonna probably make it more often. And ooh, it's not quite there yet. The pasta in the middle is like thoroughly cooked by now. I don't think it's fried, but it's thoroughly cooked. I think what I should have done was like let it fry in the oil a little bit longer, and then it would have been like extra, I don't know, extra caramelized or something. I don't know exactly what happens when you fry a starch and then you recook it in something else. But yeah, we just have way too much oil. Way too much oil. The goal was just to make like one layer of oil at the bottom. Though I guess I could have just like make half a layer oil, and I think that would have done just as well. But this is what I have. This is the pan I do have for frying stuff. And I kind of feel like we're in a hot pot right now. It's like we got a hot pot and it's like boiling, except we don't have a lot of soup and we don't have stuff that we can dip in here. But what we do have is pretty good. So not gonna lie, that'll work. I think that'll work. And I don't have a whole lot of tomatoes left. Not a whole lot of pasta sauce left in this. I probably should have just used the entire thing, but I'm gonna save it for later. What Vincenzo did was he added the tomato mixed with a bit of water at a time. Why would you want to add water to it? I'm legit curious. Why would you want to add water to it? Because if your tomato sauce is super thick already, I get it. You might want to dilute it a little bit and use the water to cook the pasta at the same time. But the tomato sauce I have, or at least the pasta sauce I have, has a decent amount of water in it. It looks very liquid, so I don't feel like I had to add more water to it. Also, I don't like adding water to things, to recipes that are supposed to be concentrated in flavor in general. That's just my thing. I don't know if it's if it's what some people do. So also think about this. We have a lot of oil here. What happens when oil and water mix? Usually not a good thing, especially if you have really, really hot oil and you add water to it. Usually not a good thing. So you're gonna end up with splatters, and I kind of want to avoid that. We do have a little bit of splattering happening, but not as bad as normal. But if I added water to that, I think it would have been worse. But now if I added water to this, I think it would have been okay, but I don't know. I'm not exactly sure if that would help our cooking process here. In general, I don't know if that would help our cooking process here. But yeah, like for anyone who knows Filipino food in general, for anyone who knows Filipino food, adobo. You'll see a lot of adobo recipes that says add water to it. I never do that. I never do that. My adobo recipe does not use any water. The few times I have used water in my adobo recipe is if I cook down the liquid too much at the end of the cooking process and it starts like crusting up at the bottom of the pan. So I would add a little bit of water, like barely a fourth of a cup, just to loosen that what do you call it, that crustiness up, and and like make sure it's distributed well. But otherwise, I don't typically do that. I just don't typically do that unless you know it's a soup. Of course, you would have to use water. But if it's like something like a sauce or something like that needs to be thick, typically don't unless it's needed. So I don't know. The video I saw though did not do that. Let me link it in chat really quick so you can see it. I'll also link it in the description after the stream is over. I'm not gonna show it on stream. I know some streamers like to do that, show the actual video on stream, and I've done kind of something like that before, but also I got some copyright strikes from that, so I'm not gonna do that. Let me link you guys the one I saw. So it's this one, and it's not who was that you said? Vicenzo? Vicenzo? It's not Vicenzo. This one is Claudia Romeo, and she doesn't cook this. This is from a restaurant, by the way. So I'm just following what the restaurant has, and they do have a much wider pan than I do. It's like almost close to a really wide flat wok, which I do not have. I have a wok, but not one that wide, and not one that wide. Definitely not one that wide. If I did, this would probably be a little bit easier to deal with. Okay, so we're getting some crustiness happening. I think I'm gonna turn up the heat just a little bit more to speed up the process. I don't think it's gonna hurt it. I just really have to keep an eye on this so that we don't burn. Like, even though it looks a little bit, even though it might look a little bit burnt by the end of this, we don't want it to actually burn, you know? That's actually bad. Actual burning is bad. I don't think there's any actual recipes off the top of my head that you want to burn, except for maybe caramel. Caramel is burnt sugar. Caramel is the only thing you probably want to burn. Sugars are probably the only thing you actually want to burn. This will be like close to burning, but not actually burning. I'm just kind of curious how I'm going to deal with this much oil. Like, I added more pasta, and that seems to help with the absorption around here. But it's still pretty darn oily, though it is kind of frying nicely. We almost have like a pasta pizza going on, from what I could tell. And the surimi is helping out a little bit. I think the surimi is going to be super flavorful also by the end of this. Yeah, that's some nice stuff right there. Let's see. Ooh. Doesn't smell burnt, but it is definitely cooking a little bit quicker now. A little bit quicker. So no cooking videos, Ruka reaction channel. I'm not entirely a fan of reaction videos, to be honest. I mean, I will check out a few just to see what some professionals think about. Like, let's say there was one video I saw of some sort of music producer or something like that, some kind of musician. I'm not exactly sure. And there's quite a few of them that did this. that were reacting to the Pizza Tower Pizza Time soundtrack. And I mean, for the most part, I get it. They enjoy it, and some people would like to see what they think of it. Like, I mean, if you enjoy it and you think they would enjoy it, and you see them enjoy it, I guess it's like a, it's nice that you can see that, and that you're glad that they also enjoy it. But I'm all at the same time, I feel like it's cheap. I'll be honest, reaction content is kind of cheap unless you, what do you call this, have something to add to the reaction. Like, you're not just actually reacting to it, you're actually saying like, oh yeah, they did this really well. And there's a lot of that also that happens with some reaction videos, or like, you know, that's probably not a good idea, or something like that. Not like, what the heck is that? Oh no, I'm so surprised. I have never seen this before. That doesn't really add anything. To be honest, to me that doesn't add anything. And I get it. Reaction content is like easy clicks, easy what do you call this? I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it. Easy engagement, I guess. I just don't like it. I just don't want to add more to that unless I have something specific that I could probably say about it that's actually constructive or insightful, you know, that kind of thing. Like, but I have seen some music reaction videos that does do that. However, my pet peeve, when they do those reaction videos, is that they don't listen to the whole thing first. Some do, not a whole lot of people do, but some people, like, they listen to the soundtrack, but they pause every few seconds along the way to comment on it, and that annoys the heck out of me. Like, please just listen to the entire thing first, like give it one good listen over, and then give your overall impression, and then come back to it, and then analyze like the little bits and portions along the way. Like, you get 2 listens over through it, not just one listen broken up into tiny little bit pieces. I'm like, that, to me, that's super annoying. I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but I'm not a fan of that other kind of reaction video. It's like you're one step closer to actually making a proper reaction video, but at the same time, you broke the flow of the music so much that it's hard to watch. At least for me, it's hard to watch. Now, for me, as far as a reaction video to cooking, I have done that once, just to give it a shot. I think I did it for one New Year's Eve a couple of years ago, and for the most part, I can see doing it. I just didn't enjoy it too much. I didn't enjoy doing it too much because it felt like I didn't add anything to that. Okay, I think okay, so we are fried. We are slightly fried now. Is it fully fried? Oh, I think we're done. I know there's a little bit of oil left, and ideally this would be like super dry or something. But I think we're done. I think we got a good crust at the bottom. So let me see how we're supposed to. I think we're supposed to like. Oh, I think the bottom's actually super burnt. You look at this. See that? I think it's a little bit burnt at the bottom. Just a teeny bit burnt, but the main part on top should be okay still. So, I think this is still a lot normal. I think we're still on the right path. It's just we let it cook a little bit too much. The heat is off now though, so if I just mix this, it won't look as bad. But if you look at the video I linked, I think their assassina pasta is also slightly burnt. Not as burnt as this though. Not as burnt as this, but it's still slightly burnt. And a lot more fancy looking because we're able to twist it into like a little dome thing, which I can't seem to do. I'm just trying to like make sure this all mixes. But it has a nice char. It's got a nice char like a good barbecue. So I was wondering what I was gonna do for lunch tomorrow. I guess I'm gonna have like half of this for lunch tomorrow. Alright. You know what? I was gonna like plate this. But maybe we don't plate this. Maybe this is our plating right here, right on the pan. You know, some restaurants do that, right? It's part of the presentation. Actually plating on the pan itself. Like, it looks a little bit burnt, but I think it'll be okay. Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a try. It's very crusty, but it doesn't seem bad. I want to try one of these burnt pieces though. I'll try this burnt pieces to see how bad it actually tastes. The sauce probably had a lot of sugar in it. Probably did. Let me double check. The sauce had 6 grams of sugar. It's actually not a whole lot. 6 grams of sugar, but it's over five servings. That's 30 grams of sugar total, according to this thing over here. But the sugar was not added. Oh no, there is a little bit of added sugar, but it's not a whole lot. It's like less than 1% volume, apparently. Okay. Okay. Here's the good news. The charred portion of this, the thing that looks a little bit burnt, like this thing over here, it doesn't taste like charcoal. At least not 100%. It tastes a little bit burnt, like a teeny tiny bit burnt, but it's also very crispy and crunchy, which is kind of nice. Got a nice crunch to it. That is good. That is super good. Personally, I would like a little bit more spice in here. A little bit more spices. It's still a little bit sweet for me. Some people might like their pasta on the sweeter side. On the sweeter tomato side. Like, I want it a little bit tart. I want it a little bit spicy. So maybe what I could have done is add some garlic powder, add a little bit of either paprika or cayenne to the sauce during the sauce phase. That would also help thicken this a little bit faster. But that crunch is actually pretty good. Not gonna lie. Maybe we don't go all the way like this much. The thing that threw me off, to be honest, was that, you know, it was still bubbling on the sides. And the oil doesn't really like evaporate. It just kind of gets absorbed in whatever you're cooking. So it was still bubbling, and I wasn't sure when to stop. I guess ideally what I should have done was not crank the heat up all the way too high. If I didn't crank the heat up all the way too high, it wouldn't do this so quickly. If I just let it sit. If I just let the pasta sit at like a medium to medium high temperature and let it cook like that, caramelize like that, this char won't be so bad. But it doesn't taste bad. The char does not taste bad. That is good though. Not bad. Try it. You might maybe you don't want to use my specific recipe. I'll post I'll post the video that I learned this from in the description after the stream. But look up assassina pasta. I think there's like several different ways to do this, but this is the one that I learned, and I think I'll just keep improving this particular one. I don't know what to say. This is just like one of the best pastas I've ever had. I can't do bolognese anymore. I can't do Alfredo anymore. If I'm gonna do pasta, I'm gonna be doing it assassina style from now on. There's definitely a way to make this a lot more savory. Maybe add some mushrooms to this or something. Really recommend that guy's channel. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. I'll see if there's any other recipes that I want to try. That looks a little bit weird, but also looks like it could be interesting. Speaking of which, by the way, if you guys have any suggestions of what recipe you want me to try, leave a comment after the stream. You can do it also during chat if you want to, but it's more helpful for me if you leave a comment after the stream, so that way I can go back easier and see, hey, you should try this recipe, you should try that recipe. Instead of, and I can see it in the comments because I don't have to go through the stream comments. I don't have to go like search through the comments on stream to find, oh, someone recommended me on like a recipe recently, and I don't remember where it was. Oh crap, I forgot about it. And I do tend to forget things after a while, so. But if you put it in a comment, it'll be a lot easier for me to find than, you know, the chat. Just say, oh my gosh, this is good. Does this look cursed, guys? I don't know. I think it's legit. The way this came out is legit. I don't. Okay, so someone earlier said add cheese to this. Honestly, I don't know if you want to add cheese to this. You can if you want to. I don't think it needs it. What does cheese actually do to pasta? Right? What does cheese actually do to pasta? It adds another depth of flavor. It adds maybe a little bit of fattiness, I guess, question mark, from the cheese curds, or it's so crunchy. I love it. It adds a depth of flavor. But I don't think this needs it. I honestly don't think it needs it. The main reason why I say this probably doesn't need it is because the sauce is cooked down so much that it's actually pretty Excuse me. It's actually pretty flavorful. On top of that, it's also very oily. I don't know if you want to mix oil and cheese together, but I personally wouldn't. Especially with the amount of oil we used in this thing, it's ridiculous. I wouldn't. Just saying. My God. I'm trying to figure out other ways to improve this. The only thing I can think of is like add more garlic oil. Maybe basil. If I had fennel, I'd add more fennel too. Fennel's really good. Fennel seeds. Fennel seeds would be super good. I think the surimi, the fake crab meat, was actually a decent call. It makes it a light meat filling on here. If you want something heavier, definitely go for the ground beef or something like that. Shrimp, I think, might work well. Seafoods in general, shrimp, clams, like some really cheap clams, scallops might also work really, really well if you have that kind of budget. Man, why is scallops so expensive? Why is scallops so good but so expensive? And like, for the amount of for the price that you get, like 1 pound of scallops, which is like about 500 grams. No, not 500 grams. 250, not 500 grams yet. For about 500 grams, 1 pound of scallops, you don't get a whole lot. Or at least if you get a lot, you're probably gonna be getting like the teeny tiny scallops, which is fine. But I kind of like the medium to almost large size scallops because there's so much more to chew. If you get the small scallops, I honestly don't know what they're good for. I feel like it's the tiny little scallops are like filler. They're filler in whatever you put them in, like stir fry, pasta. But there's not a whole lot of bite to them. I kind of want that bite. You can go full seafood here. You can go full seafood with the scallops, or I guess if you want to add more different ingredients, you can use the small scallops. Small scallops, small shrimp, little cuts of squid. Add some surimi too. Make it super fancy if you want to. Add more, instead of using tomato sauce, use a tomato paste. But I think there's too much, I think we need a lot of tomato paste for this to work. You probably might want to get like tomato sauce and then mix tomato paste in there. You do need the liquid portion from the tomato sauce or like pasta sauce, which is what I used in this case, to cook the pasta itself. You can fry the pasta all the way, but I think it'd be too crunchy. Honestly, too crunchy. But the more crunch you can get before you put the sauce in, that's probably for the best. It's probably for the best overall on the dish. Let's see. What else can I think of? If you do only have tomato paste, yes, get the water in. You will need water if you use only tomato paste because it does not have enough. It does not have enough liquid in there. That's just how paste is, right? That's just how paste is. And at that point, why didn't you just use the pasta sauce or the tomato sauce? Because the pasta sauce / tomato sauce has already a lot of water in there. I either added or just as a byproduct of it being what they are. No extra water that you need to add, and also a whole lot cheaper per mass, I want to say. Though actually no, I don't think I've actually taken a close look at the price of pasta sauce and tomato sauce and tomato paste. Honestly, I don't think I have, because I don't think I've ever cooked down tomato sauce down enough to where it becomes paste-like, and then compare it to see if you get more tomato out of that compared to tomato paste. But to me, tomato paste shouldn't be like a starting ingredient. That's more like an enhancer. To me, that's an enhancer. If you need to enhance tomato flavor, yes, get the tomato paste. But if you don't need to enhance it, you need the liquid. Just go for the tomato sauce. It's cheaper. It's cheaper than tomato paste anyway. I don't know. That's just me. Someone who knows pasta and tomatoes more could probably tell me different, but that's what I'm kind of thinking when I'm going through the reasons why you would want to use one or the other. It's just in general, tomato paste is a lot more expensive, and I don't know if the cost is justified. That's my main issue with tomato paste. It's honestly just the cost. The flavor itself is fine. That flavor itself is fine, but I don't know if it's worth it if you're not using it as an enhancer. If you're using it as an enhancer, any price is fine, as long as it's not like $100 per tube or whatever. But it's like, yeah, that's. Pepper, paprika, maybe not cayenne. Maybe we don't actually need cayenne. Pepper, paprika, garlic powder. I don't know if you want to use onions. You can use onions if you want to, but I feel like fennel. If you have like some fennel seeds, definitely roast those ahead of time before you use them, and this will be heck tons better. Heck tons better. That's what I think anyway. Okay. Wow. I couldn't think of really anything else to talk about, but this was a good experiment. Honestly, I think it is a good experiment. What do you guys think? You tell me. You tell me. I don't think I ate too much of the surimi though. Not as burnt as I thought it would be. Definitely a lot more cooked than I'm used to. The surimi is a lot more cooked than I'm used to, but that's okay. It's actually a nice it's actually a nice texture. For me, it's a nice texture. I don't know what anyone else thinks. Then again, I'm not too hard to please. To be honest, I'm not too hard to please when it comes to dishes. My only complaint about this is I probably did use a little bit too much oil. You can see the oil residue around here. Probably a little bit too much oil. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to balance that. Because otherwise, I mean, this is just gonna be super oily. Super oily, super rich, super decadent. For a lack of a better word, super decadent. Mm. Mm. Yeah, that's all I got. This was good, guys. This was good. Probably gonna be eating like the rest of this. Well, not the rest of this, like half of this for now. I probably shouldn't eat too much because I need to save some of it for lunch tomorrow. It would be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see how this holds up being refrigerated and then reheated in the next day. I like, you know how curry is, like curry's usually better if you let it sit for a while. I wonder if this is the same thing though, but the only thing is it's oily, right? So I don't know how that's going to affect it. Usually if you fry stuff and you let it sit the next day, it's not good. But we'll see. We have a lot of carbohydrates here. We have a lot of things that can absorb the oil, and if we reheat it correctly, it might be okay. Though I can't reheat this in a pot and pan tomorrow for lunch. It's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna have to use a microwave because that's what we have at work. So it'll be what it'll be. Anyway, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little throwback to cooking on stream because I missed it. I missed it. But yeah, let me know what you think about the recipe. And if you have any suggestions of what you want me to cook in the future, excuse me. If you have any suggestions of what you want me to cook in the future, please leave a comment in the. Please leave a comment after the stream, so that I can look back on that. I am burping like crazy. Holy crap. And we'll see what we can make in the future. I do have some recipes in mind, but if you have something more something interesting or something that might be interesting, I'm all ears, and I might prioritize that. But yeah, this is not so cursed, but hopefully you enjoyed that. It looks cursed enough. Maybe if I actually snap the pasta. Maybe I actually snapped the pasta. It would be super cursed, but I gotta show this to my Italian friend later and see what he says. So yeah. Alright, thanks for coming everyone. Have a good rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed that. I will see you next week. And take care of yourself. Have a good rest of your weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.